Thanks, Dave, and thanks to the entire SCPGA staff for organizing this meeting here in Bakersfield. So welcome to Bakersfield Country Club. We're real excited to have everybody here at our 2019 summer meeting. Glad everybody made the trek over the hill, over the grapevine to come here to the northern end of our section. But if we get a nice round of applause for Tom Addis, Jeff Johnson, Nikki, the whole team at SCPGA for everything you guys have done, and thank you very much for putting this meeting together the last couple of days. So thank you. If everybody would like to rise, please, and join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call Northern Chapter President Rodney Scott to the podium to do a welcome and introduction of your board members.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rodney Scott, and I am the president of the Northern Chapter. And it is our honor and pleasure to welcome all of you to the Northern Chapter. This year, I could say it may be the year of the Northern Chapter. We have our meeting here, and then we also have the section championship up at Alisal Ranch. So at least some of you coming up from San Diego kind of get an idea of what most of the guys have to deal with from up here. So really appreciate the long drive, and just would like to say again, welcome and thank you to Bakersfield Country Club for hosting. If I could, I would like to introduce our board members who have done an outstanding job, and a lot of the things that I get some credit for are actually they're doing. So if I could have them stand when they're called. I know a couple aren't here. Dr. Allison Kurt is our vice president. Garrett Goodrich is our secretary. And tournament co-chairs is Rick Garbowski, who's not here, also Paul Holpe. Our education chair is Nicholas Yanati. I did not see him, not sure, okay. Our junior golf leader is Dan Martin. Our apprentice chair, who is here, Mike Vandergoes. And our chapter rep is Mike Valdez, who I think's been on the board for like 15 years straight now. Like, that's not a joke. I don't know how that's happened, but I really appreciate all their help, and on behalf of them, welcome to the Northern Chapter, and I hope you guys have a great day out there. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we'd like to do our traditional roll call, and we'll go around the room and just a brief introduction. It helps everybody network with one another and get to know who everybody is and put some names with faces. Just a real brief who you are, everybody. You met a couple of our past presidents that are in the room. I'd like you to please stand and wait for applause till the end. I've got a couple recognition names here, but we have some past presidents in the room. As we said, way past President Andy Tooney is in the room. Way past Tom Addis, past president, is in the room. Just way past Jeff Johnson is in the room, and just past Jason Taylor is in the room. So if you guys would all please stand to be recognized, as well as the Southern California PGA Board of Directors. That meant board members were supposed to stand too, but we'll practice that in the meeting next time. We also have some very special guests, some participants in this year's Professional National Championship, the Senior PGA Championship, and the KPMG participants. We'd like you to come to the stage if you hear your name or see your name up on the board for a photo, please. So Mr. Michael Block, Mr. Jeffrey Dean, Mr. Paul Dici, Rick Garbowski, Kyle Kelly, Andrew Larkin, Warren Pinio, Vinny Poncino, Brian Smock, Logan Scott, Kenny Pigman, Jeff Hart, and Allison Kurt. Please come forward for a photo. Where is Bryce? Bryce is coming right here. Come on up on the stage. Come on up on the stage. One more. You want me in this picture, or you want just that? All right. Good. Awesome. Thank you very much. Congratulations and good luck. in the program, we'll have a couple of guests that will be giving you some presentation and some good education this morning. So I'd like to welcome again, you met him from the Southwest section, Dr. Chris Kane from UNLV. You'll be hearing from him a little later. And thank you, Chris, for joining us and making the trek with your family across the desert to be here. And Jim Ireland with Tag Marshall. You all know Jim. He'll be giving a little presentation later in the program. At this time, I would like to call the staff from Bakersfield Country Club up, please. We have a little gift for you. Mr. Eric Kuhn, Jen Park, Morgan Almendarez, and Paul Guerra, Bakersfield Country Club. Would you guys please come forward? Thank you so much for your hospitality. It's been great so far. Looking forward to the golf course. Very excited to be here, so thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome your teaching committee chairman, Randy Chang, to talk a little bit about the Teaching and Coaching Summit coming up this year.
How many of you folks have already signed up for the? Okay, good. Well, I was supposed to speak here for a couple of minutes. Let's use that time. Everybody get their phones on. Let's register right now. So this thing is going to sell out with everything that with the speakers that are coming out. This is going to be definitely one of the summits that we're going to remember. The other fun part of it that we're going to be doing is Journey Pachanga has been real gracious to extend a special room rate. So when you go ahead and do register for the hotel, you can just make note of the that you're going to be attending the summit and you're going to get a special room rate. We invite you folks to come out the day before on Sunday. That would be the 20th, where we're going to host a 9-hole skins game that afternoon, as well as the casino sponsoring a slot tournament that there you can win $1,000. So there's a lot of fun stuff that we're going to be doing. Honma has also stepped up and is going to be sponsoring the Discover Honma Craft cocktail party on Monday evening at our new pool facility over there. So we're also debuting our band, JJ and the Hackers, that evening of your SCPGA professionals and also some staff. World-renowned saxophonist, oh my goodness. Michael Paulo. Michael Paulo will be playing and opening for the band. We're also going to do another 9 holes so you can see the other side of the golf course if you've not played Journey on Tuesday afternoon for those who don't have to rush away after Freddie speaks. So anyways, we hope to see everybody over there. Please sign up and we'll see you October 21st and 22nd.
Thank you, Randy. Next, as you may or may not know, the 2020 PGA Championship comes to California. It'll be at Harding Park in Northern California, and they started the celebration, the kickoff, in San Francisco a couple months ago, a month and a half ago. And we have a little video to show you about that. We're supposed to have Barry Deach, who's the championship director for the 102nd Championship, and Chase Larson, who's the marketing services manager, who was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, they had a change in plans and they couldn't be here, but they sent us this video to kind of get you fired up about the PGA Championship in our home state next year.
And giving a jubilant Lanny Watkins his first professional championship in a real showdown at Pebble Beach. The 1977 PGA Championship.
Can it be? Yes! It's going. Oh, my goodness. It's going, yes.
Oh, my goodness, he hit it on the green. Tiger Woods for his birdie.
So if anybody wants information about the championship, how to volunteer, how to participate, early ticket sales, all of those things, reach out to Tom, anybody at the section office, the staff, they can put you in touch with the right people. If you have members that want to volunteer, family members, whatever it is. So we can get you all the information that you need. But very exciting to have the PGA Championship in our home state this year, and I'm sure Bill may mention it at some point when he comes up and joins us. The next slide that you see is the slide for the Alisal. So you may or may not have heard that we have changed the venue for this year's section championship. Max and the team decided to visit Santa Maria Country Club, and after some conversations with the head professional there, Tracy, they agreed to look at Santa Maria as a site for the future. So luckily we were able to land the ranch course at the Alisal for this year's section championship. We're very excited to bring it back there, and they're excited to host, so it should be a great venue, and we will get Santa Maria Country Club in the lineup for the future. So that's just a quick announcement for everybody that didn't know. The next presentation, I actually have a short little presentation. You were challenged by me to use the hashtag #MoreThanAMember on social media, and the idea was we wanted to see what it is that you're doing out there other than being a golf professional. Maybe it's motorcycle riding, maybe it's playing golf with your kids. There's things that you do in your life, and that makes us more human. When we're golf professionals, we become more human to our members, we become more approachable to the public. Some people, I think, are intimidated when they see a golf professional. They don't want to come take a lesson from that person. They feel a little bit intimidated. So in a way to kind of make us more human and to allow people to connect with us, we started this More Than a Member campaign. And I want to recognize Vinny Bartagna, because he has used this post probably more than anyone in the section. So I got a little prize for you. Come on up here, a little SCPGA care package. Come on up, More Than a Member. And bring your phone, because we're taking a picture. Bring your phone. Got your phone? Get your phone. Come on, we're taking a selfie. We're more than a membering it right now, here and live. So you didn't know there were prizes for this, did you? That's for you. More than a member. Congratulations. So let's get up on stage. Let's do a selfie with everybody in the room, and you can post it, okay? Make sure you tag me in it. Okay, get everybody in the room. Okay, we got everybody? All right, congratulations. More Than a Member, Vinny Bartagna. You've heard a lot about our Clubs for Youth program, and we have a short video. Oh yeah, you'll need, yeah. We have a short video featuring our 500th set donated for Clubs for Youth, and Nick's going to start that right now.
Today is our 500th set of golf clubs, which went right here to Ramon. And as Ramon is the lone senior on the team today, and you're going to be going to Santiago Canyon College. Yeah. Well, we have one last surprise here today. We're going to be providing Ramon with a $5,000 college scholarship.
It feels good, like you just want, like, I was happy with the clubs, you know, like, oh, like, I thought even if we got a discount on them, it would be like good, but like, free clubs and $5,000, that's crazy. Thank you to the Southern California PGA Association. Like, I never thought this would happen, you know, just coming out. Like, I remember people telling me that I was dumb for doing golf, and I don't know, but like, I never listened to those people, and I just keep going. It was just more of a motivation that there's people out there like wanting you to continue your education.
We're really thankful for the TGR Foundation for having us out here today. We're really excited. We're just under 2 years with our Clubs for Youth program, and we've donated 500 sets to 72 high schools throughout our region, which we could not, we're absolutely thrilled with. It's been a huge growth of the game initiative for us to go out there, provide equipment for these kids who are in need. The majority of them were using some very subpar equipment, so through our donors, the LA84 Foundation, Henry Brunton Golf Academy, DevToe Support Foundation, the Wadsworth Foundation, and many individual donors, our PGA members. It's been a huge initiative for our foundation, and we cannot be, more thankful for their support each and every day.
What we've accomplished with 500 sets of clubs, I think, is a big deal. We are laying the groundwork for the next generation of PGA members, and I think it's going to keep growing. Gain some additional donors. I think we're going to be able to, I'm looking forward to the 2000 set. So it's just a matter of time in my mind.
Thank you, California Canopy, for this awesome canopy right there in the back of us. It looks nice. Like I thought like the school had got to go make it because it looks like almost identical to what they get, and it's better. It looks like better quality. It looks stronger. It looks good.
All right. On behalf of Orange High School and the Orange High School Boys Varsity Golf Team, we want to thank the California Canopies for this amazing, beautiful canopy that they provided us with the Orange High School logo, the Panther logo, and amazing colors. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
So that is just a small sampling of the impact that our section has had through our foundation, and you all as PGA members and associates should be very proud that our foundation is working so tirelessly to continue to donate more and more sets to this great cause. As you saw, we've had over 500 sets. I think we're officially at 507 right now. Does that sound right, Matt? So Frank Tallarico, our foundation president, unfortunately couldn't join us this week. He wanted to be here, but a special thanks to him for all the work that he's doing, and Matt Gilson in the office and the team there for all the work that they're doing, because they're all making our foundation look phenomenal in the eyes of the community, and this is just a small sampling, like I said, of the impact that we're having, and it's huge. So please, thank you for those guys. Next, I'd like to call to stage Vice President Robin Shelton for a financial report. More good news.
You can see the difference in technology here with Tony running with his papers and me with my iPad. I always try to go for the quickest report and the best report, and I think I'm going to have that today. So as far as the finances in the past, what we've done is we put everything on the screen here. Everybody gets to look at it. It takes a long time. May get a little boring staring at numbers, especially from the back row. So just want to share with you 3 quick announcements regarding the state of the section financial activities. First announcement being, as far as year to date, or if it's actually through quarter 1, your section is ahead of plan in all 3 of our business entities. So pretty cool, pretty pumped about that, to be ahead of plan for the first quarter. Second announcement, as far as our investments, I think most of us in this room know we have a company called Canterbury Consulting who manages a fund for us, and that year to date is 6% up. So more good news there. And the last piece of good news, our balance sheet right now as a section is over $13 million. So ahead of plan for the year, 6% up on our from Canterbury Consulting, and then $13 million of assets on our balance sheet. And with that, I'd like to introduce Eric Lohman, our section secretary. Try to go faster than that.
Thank you, Robin. Good morning, everybody. First, we have to do a formal procedure. We need to receive a motion from the floor to approve the minutes from the last meeting. If I can get a motion on the floor, Mr. Kiefer, thank you very much. A second? Perfect. If I can get a vote, all in favor? Aye. Perfect. The motion carries. The minutes are approved, so thank you very much. Now I'd just like to recognize some folks that are in the room, some of our new members. Obviously this is very important to them. There's a few people on this list too that I'd like to recognize that aren't here this morning. Jacqueline Regal and Carrie Matlin are 2 of my professionals that happen to be working today back in Dana Point. So thank you to them and congratulations to all. But in the room today we have Mr. Kyle Mendoza. If you don't mind standing, Kyle. Thank you very much. And Mr. Zachary Moya. Mr. Zachary Moya. Thank you very much. Congratulations, gentlemen. Also, it's very important that we recognize our new associates, and I believe our new associates, I believe we have a couple in the room. Hagen Fell. Is Hagen here? Hagen must have been called back to work. Marcus Mercado Keel. Marcus, congratulations. Mr. Alan Geiberger Jr. Very nice. And Mr. Kyle Barker. Very good. Thank you. We appreciate greatly that you took time out of your busy schedules to come and spend some time with us. And obviously you picked Michael Block as a partner. So you're learning very quickly how it is to do well in these events. Now I'd like to recognize the quarter century members that are in the room, and obviously not to be overlooked, Mr. Randy Chang. Would you please stand to be recognized? Randy had a celebratory party last night all for himself, which was nice. Mr. Jim Dennerline. Is Mr. Jim in the room? Mr. Dennerline, congratulations, thank you. We don't have any of these folks in the room, but I think it'd be nice for us to just acknowledge the half-century folks: Charles Courtney, David Stockton Sr., Skip Whittet, and Denny Mays. The next slide, we recognize some of the deceased members, and then afterwards I'll say their names. Maybe we have a moment of silence in respect to those folks. L.S.T. Riker was a member for 26.7 years, deceased February 28th. Mr. Richard Merritt, 53 and a half years, member in the section, deceased April 21st. Mr. John Welker, 54 years, member in the section, deceased December 22nd. John Walgamot, 28.9 years, member, deceased February 23rd. Willie Maples, 12.9 years, member, deceased March 4th. Albert Rush, 65 years, a member, deceased January 25th. And Gerald Prue, 47 years, a member, deceased April 1st. Can we have a moment of silence in their respect? Thank you very much. Those gentlemen will be missed. I know I spent a lot of time with Mr. Welker at Oak Creek. Can't say enough about the man, was a great man. Next up, we have a slide we just wanted to show the number of members and associates that we have. This slide actually shows you a trend from 2017 to 2019. As you look at the trend, we're actually starting to lose some associates and we're starting to lose some members. It's about a 5% clip, 17 compared to 19. What's important about this slide is that we all take it upon ourselves to help our associates and help our members that need guidance and mentorship. It's up to the PGA professionals in this room to set a framework and a base point for us to help those that we work with and that are near and dear to us. So I challenge everybody in this room to see if we can help ride this ship and push these numbers in a positive direction. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shelton and Mr. Lohman. And Mr. Shelton, since you and I figured out how not to time out our iPads yesterday and have the screen automatically go off, I'll use mine next time. All of the chapter and committee reports are located on scpga.com. If you go into the member-only area, you can use your pga.org login to access that information. So if you want to read up on anything else that's going on in the section, we won't bore you with verbal reports, but it is available for you to read. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our District 11 Director from the Half Moon Bay Golf Club in Northern California section, Bill Trojanowski, with a district report.
Kurt, PGA Master Professional.
I'm Ray Cutright. I'm a PGA Master Professional.
I'm Ed Ibargwin, PGA Master Professional.
To meet the expectations of the multi-generational workforce and recruit talent into the association, the PGA of America has introduced a career path-focused lifelong learning plan that supports the training and development of all PGA professionals. This career path approach focuses on 3 areas: golf operations, teaching and coaching, and executive management. This new learning strategy will allow PGA associates to select a specific career path earlier in their golf journey and will give PGA members the opportunity to go through specialized, certified, and master professional programs in the 3 career paths to further demonstrate their value to employers.
The recognition in the industry is paramount. When you separate yourself from the rest of the other members and show that you're an expert in the field, it opens up the door for different jobs, higher incomes, speaking opportunities, and other industries outside of golf to create collaborations with.
What drives me further, and I'm hoping what drives everyone out there further, is the ability to continue to learn and to grow and to be better. And we have that opportunity within the PGA of America, from a PGA member to become a specialist, from a specialist to become a certified professional, and from a certified professional to become a master professional. And that journey is one that I would recommend to anyone.
The PGA of America believes that lifelong learning provides a pathway for all PGA professionals to achieve their desired career goals while distinguishing themselves in the competitive employment marketplace.
Lifelong learning is truly important to every industry. When you look at the fast pace of the world today, if you're not learning and growing, you're actually probably going backwards.
And that lifelong learning helps you become more valuable, more knowledgeable, more wanted, and helps you climb the ladder, if you will, faster to progress your career. Pick up the phone, make the effort to find that education opportunity and someone who's going to help you, guide you through that process.
Find opportunities to where you can grow, and once you've met that goal, let's try to find the next pinnacle or the next mountain or the next hill that we can climb. The key of it is you have to enjoy the journey.
You have to learn till you go to your grave if you're going to be successful.
So how do you get started on your own journey with lifelong learning? Once all PGA associates have finished the core curriculum in Level 1, they select their specific career path to complete Levels 2 and 3 in PGM 3.0. PGA members have the ability to pursue further education in these career paths in 3 newly created programs: the Specialized Professional Program, the Certified Professional Program, and the Master Professional Program. All PGA members are eligible to register for the Specialized Professional Program at any time. This unique offering allows you access to more than 200 courses, including the most recent PGM 3.0 coursework. The Certified Professional and Master Professional programs also have experience requirements. Certification requires 5 years work experience and matching years of PGA membership. And Master Professional Programming requires 10 years work experience and matching years of PGA membership.
Became a certified professional, and I didn't want to stop my journey there. I wanted to become a master professional. Master Professional Program was extremely important to me because it's the highest honor we can receive in education in the PGA of America.
So the PGA of America gives you an opportunity to be involved in the game that you have a passion for. But in the end, you have to be responsible for your journey.
So now that I've become a PGA Master Professional, my golf journey, I really feel like it's just beginning.
And I feel like there's still more to learn. And as technology and science continue to bring new things to the forefront, I'm always going to be ever learning, trying to be the best PGA member I can be, and also to make my students the best that they can be.
I want to be the best that I can possibly be. PGA members are people that are the experts in the game of golf, and I wanted to continue that journey by being the expert, and the only way I could do that was by being in the Master Professional Program.
Lifelong learning will allow PGA professionals to enhance their education and increase their value to employers, which ultimately will increase compensation and retention for these individuals.
Wherever your golf journey is headed,
let's get you there.
Let's get you there.
Let's get you there.
For more information and to continue your journey in lifelong learning, visit pga.org.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thanks for the extra 30 minutes for my time. I appreciate that. See, I never ever laughs at my jokes. I'm just going to stop trying. I want to acknowledge Dr. Chris Kane. We bumped into each other, and I knew I recognized you. We served together on the National Education Committee, which were the architects of the lifelong learning education program. And I wanted to spend just a few moments talking about this. You just saw this video explaining how lifelong learning now is introduced at the PGM level to our students, and how it now works beyond the PGM program becoming, when you become a member, and it moves you upward. You know, lifelong learning is a path. You know, it's now a designated path for our students to choose to specialize. It's really the new world that we're living in. Specialize as teachers, specialize as operators, and specialize as in executive management. It starts you off on that path early, but it also it reaches out to PGA members like all of us in this room who've been members and perhaps have stepped away from education or haven't seen a path through education in their career. It helps us to take a step towards a specialty as a member, and that starts with the specialized program. So as a member, the first step up is to become specialized. It's the former certification program. It's digitally administered, and you take it online, virtually do it from your office. The next level of the lifelong learning cycle is that of certified, and that's totally new. Specialized was released, just this past January, but the new certification program will come out in August, and it adds a component of service. It adds a experience component where you're required to be in your specialty field for up to 5 or at least 5 years, and then to complete various levels of education that even extend outside the PGA into the CMAA, into various courses that the PGA has included in the program. It includes a mentoring component. It also includes a list of books that are required reading for you to complete. So the certified program has a lot more bones to it and is absolutely going to elevate us all. And then the fourth step in the lifelong learning cycle is that of mastery or master professional. And it includes a little bit of all that's included in certified, but ultimately requires a thesis to be completed and approved. So it's an incredible journey. It's one that you have to make the move on your own, as Ed O'Bargan, our leader, has said so well. You have to take that first step, and that first step can be done from your office. It doesn't require you to jump into an airplane or travel to Port St. Lucie. You can dial in online, choose the programming that you want, and get going, and it's absolutely terrific. Also want to identify Dr. Allison Kirk. We serve together on the education committee, and she does some amazing work in that room, so thank you, Allison, for all your hard work. You've seen a fair amount come out recently on PGA.coach. PGA.coach was recently launched from the PGA America to bring the American development model into our teaching and allow us to connect with students and retain students, not just at the junior level, but also students as they age and become later adults in life and later adults in life. And it helps us to understand how we can retain and how we can move our students and members along and retain them into the game and help them to enjoy the game more. So this PGA.coach, if you are curious, how many in this room have taken the online certification? So that's okay. We have about almost 4% of the membership in the Southern California PGA as certified. We'd certainly like to move that up. The PGA of America's goal is to have 3,000 members certified this year. And we're currently about a third of the way there, so we have a fair amount of work to do. If you haven't seen it, you can log on to pga.org. You can take the program. It takes about 3 hours. There's several modules within it, and you can progress through it, take breaks. Ultimately, you have to sit for the entire 3 hours, but you end up picking up 3 MSRs. And once you get your certification, there's tools that are then made available to you to help you facilitate teaching within this model. In the next few months, the PGA HQ is going to be launching a public relations marketing program on PGA.coach, and it's going to feature members that have already attained certification. So it's going to reach out and identify those members in various sections or locations that are now certified to teach the model. So we'll be promoting those members that are engaged and involved. The next item I wanted to bring up, recently you might have seen some news on Next Gen Golf. And Next Gen Golf, what's this all about, and what's the mission here? We're all very familiar with the success that we've had with the PGA Junior League and how it's reached out to just an incredible number of youths and new players. I think I heard a number, it was 50% are PGA Junior League members are new players, which is fantastic. So it's been a huge success. It's really helped us to grow junior golf. And Next Gen is very similar in that it reaches out to college students and young adults and organizes play opportunities in certain regions and brings together these folks that really don't have a tie to a club or competition or a league, but it brings this group of folks together to enjoy the game and retain those players that we might or have been losing as young adults in golf in their careers as golfers. So you'll see more on this. It just recently was brought out and acquired, I think, less than 2 months ago. As President Latendra had pointed out, the 102nd PGA Championship is coming to Northern California. It's going to be in our home state. We're super excited about that. As I understand and have seen from the visitors from PGA HQ, the 102nd PGA Championship is going to be known as the first modern PGA. And I asked for clarification. What does that mean? First modern PGA? And it's really going to be about technology. It's going to be something to be seen where technology is going to play an exceptional role in connecting our participants and all of our attendees that come to the championship to the event through all 18 holes, no matter where they are. So I haven't seen the specifics of it, but it's certainly exciting. And seeing what took place out in Bethpage just recently, we certainly can't wait. Last item I have here is just an update on PGA HQ's plans to move to Frisco, Texas. And those plans are moving forward. It's still on track for a 2022 grand opening. The campus, as it's being described, is just really exciting in that the campus is going to be laid out with a significant family presence and focus. So again, taking the entire inclusive nature of the community into account, it's more than just an HQ office, and it'll be exciting to show you these renderings as they come out. However, this move to HQ is also going to include a presence, and more significant presence, in West Palm Beach. As you all know, Port St. Lucie has been an investment and home to many of our retired PGA professionals for quite some time. And there's no plans at all to divest from that investment. It's meant to be retained. But West Palm Beach in southern Florida is also seen as a golf mecca and a mecca for our industry and who we are. And it's been our home for virtually ever. So seeing, we have roads named after us. There's certainly a large campus there, PGA National Resort, that has our name. It only seems right that we retain a significant foothold there. As plans come out, what that looks like, we'll certainly release that to you. With that, President Latendra, appreciate the time. I welcome the opportunity to hear your thoughts on most anything that's coming up in Southern California that's important to you. I'd love to bring them back to the boardroom, but that summarizes my report. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for being here, Bill. We always appreciate it and appreciate our time together. And thank you for being at our board meeting yesterday. I challenged the section that we wanted to be #1 in PGA.coach. And if I'm not mistaken, in the board meeting yesterday, Mr. Trojanowski, you told us we're #2 right now in the country?
That's right.
Okay, so let's bump that up a little bit and let's get a little bit more. We're very close. But this time I'd like to call Mr. Tom Addis to the stage to give a staff report.
I have to use the stairs. Thank you, Tony. Morning, everybody. Didn't learn that there was a step over there until Bill went down, so fortunately there is at someone my age. Couple things, not to take a very long time, but I think there's a couple things that are going to be important to you that's been discussed, whether it be through verbalizing or through email or through technology of some sort, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. But if history doesn't correct me, I believe that we're sitting, and you'll play today, the host site for the very, very first, then it was called the Hogan Tour, but Web.com Tour event that was played here in 1990. So a little bit of history, among other things, with Bakersfield Country Club that I think we can look back upon and with great thanks for the Web.com, the current Web.com Tour, and what that's meant to the PGA Tour and even our section. So kind of neat being here with that in that regard. Tony, thanks to you and everyone out there for your support and allowing us to be here this morning and participating in this meeting today. A couple of other things. In staff regard, you'll call the section office and there will be a new voice that you'll hear, and that's Hannah Ficini, who happens to be from the San Joaquin Valley. She's not here today. She's from Fresno. In fact, a couple of weeks ago won the Fresno City Amateur, Women's Amateur. So we're loading up our staff. We have our first board staff match in August, and so we're loading up our staff with some decent players. And not to say we didn't have any to begin with, but now with Nikki on staff and can get it around a little bit, I think that we probably will challenge the board, Mr. Latendra, President Latendra, so that'll be a lot of fun. One of the other things that we just started, and you'll see from time to time, and specifically in our member-to-member, is our Meet the Staff section of the member-to-member, where we introduce you to some of our staff and what we do at headquarters. In the edition that went out on Saturday, we had Travis Cutler and Amberlynn Dorsey, who manage and direct our Toyota Tour Cup, And so if you get the chance to take a look at our member-to-member, and hope we do anyway, take a look at that and you'll get to meet our staff. And every issue that comes out on the first Saturday of the month, we plan to have a new staff person or a new group of staff that you'll meet and hopefully get to know, because our staff does such a fabulous job and so proud of what they do. And in that regard, I'd like to thank Ariana, Nikki, Jeff, Bryce, Demi, Sharon, of course, David, who you met earlier. Matt has been brought out a couple times with our foundation for your hard work for this meeting and your continuing hard work for the section and for you, the members. So we're very happy to work with you and for you, and we'll continue to do so as time goes on, of course. One of the things that has loomed fairly important on your horizon, and any of you who might be independent contractors who are sitting here today, within the golf industry particularly, and there was a Supreme Court decision a year ago, April, that changed the look and the status, at least by decision, of independent contractors. And of course that's going to hit the golf industry much harder than it hits any other industry, although it started with a decision based on a shipping company called Dynamex, where the workers from that shipping company felt that being independent contractors, they would be more cared for and more rewarded as employees, and the Supreme Court agreed with the Dynamex company in that regard, the employees of the Dynamex company in that regard, and thus rendered the decision that, in a nutshell, if you work at a facility or a business and your core of your contracting is the same core as that business, being a golf instructor at a golf course, you are no longer considered an independent contractor. Therefore, you would be considered, if that facility were to retain you, an employee. And that decision, again, was rendered last April and has the potential of really upending the golf industry and the golf business and what you do, because it's also going to point to caddies. It's also going to point to those of you who have tennis facilities and tennis clubs. It's going to point in that direction as well. So far, and I know there's some people who feel by even talking about it poses a risk, but the PGA, at least the Southern California PGA, the Northern California PGA, and in concert with the Southern California Golf Association, and in particular Craig Kessler and Kevin Fitzgerald. And Craig has met with you before and spoken to you and authors various pieces for our program magazine, working very diligently with the California State Legislature, and the bill that hit the legislature based on this decision is Assembly Bill 5. And we've had the good fortune with our lobbyist in Sacramento that so far progress is being made in regards to that bill, in having some carve-outs of the, and even going so far, and I'm going to use a word that I never used before and didn't know what it meant until just the other day, and that's codify, which means organize and systematize this bill, where one of the benefits that we had, just like the sales tax battle we had back in 2008, when that bill was presented, it wasn't consistent. And different businesses were going to be going to be exempt, different businesses were not going to be exempt. And it's the same thing with the independent contractor bill, is that it's inconsistent, therefore that gives us a means to interject ourselves into that decision-making process. And we've done that, and particularly because, and some of you have written letters to your legislature out there here today, and that has meant a huge amount to educating our legislators and kind of getting our legislators over the hump in regards to what really is the effect on not just the golf industry, but other industries where independent contractors may be the means to success or failure of a particular individual, especially entrepreneurs. So we now have taken that look. our legislative opportunity up in Sacramento, and right now our lobbyist, Craig and Kevin and the rest of the California Alliance for Golf is working very, very diligently, and at this point, not for sure, but we're very confident that we will receive an exemption for our PGA teaching professionals. So there's a little bit of time to go, but we feel very confident that we're in position now that we can get our legislators to make the decision to hopefully down the road either interject some more consistency or actually overturn that California Supreme Court decision, which, as you know, any Supreme Court decision is virtually impossible to overturn. But if we can create a little different approach, that'll help dramatically. So I think we're moving along, and those of you who have rendered your support via the letter writing, via the emails, go back to that if you can find that email we sent out a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and don't stop those emails to our legislators or your legislator. It gives you an opportunity to look up who your legislator is, and there's 2 different formats of emails that you can send. One's a little longer, there's a little shorter format, because some of the legislatures only allow for 200 words or 200 characters or something like that. But thought you should know where we are in that regard. It's been a challenge, but again, thanks to our partnership with the SCPGA in this regard, we are making progress. So thank you. Thanks for allowing us to be up here, and Mr. President, thanks very much.
Thank you, Tom. And Andrew, I'm not sure where you landed in here, but I might need you to send me over the NCAA recruiting rules, because I'm not sure if they might be in violation with trying to get some new players. So you might need to send that over to me, please. Thank you for that. Thank you. See, Bill, they don't laugh at my jokes either. Next up, we are very fortunate. You notice the theme is education, and we're very fortunate to have Dr. Kane from UNLV joining us today. As is tradition with our summer meeting, we usually have a little education piece. So we invited Dr. Kane here to speak about the new program. I know for those of us who went through an earlier version of the PGM program, this new career path is fairly new to us, and we're still learning. So hopefully he'll be able to give us some oversights. I know he's got a very dynamic and engaging presentation, so please participate. But I would like to introduce Dr. Kane. Following a 10-year career in the golf and club management industry, he serves at UNLV as the director of the PGA Golf Management University Program and associate professor for the William F. Herrick College of Hospitality. Go Rebels. The UNLV Teaching Academy, Kane received his PhD, in higher education with a focus on educational leadership from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. As a PGA PGM alum, Kane earned his undergraduate and master's degrees in recreation and leisure studies from the Pennsylvania State University. His teachings, invited presentations, and research focus on leadership and operations management within the golf club industry and student persistence factors related to degree attainment. Kane's industry service includes board of director positions with regional and national professionals, amateur and junior golf associations, including the PGA of America, the First Tee, the Southern Nevada Golf Association, Nevada Golf Alliance, and PGA Magazine. Kane's a past president of the Southern Nevada Chapter PGA. Please welcome Dr. Chris Kane from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Everybody hear me all right? Yeah, I'd like to walk around just a little bit. I don't like standing behind the podium. But I want to just take the moment before we start the presentation to sincerely thank everybody in this room for your contributions to mentoring our students from UNLV. I know a number of you in this room have had a student or have been engaged in preparing a student for a career as an associate or a PGA student in a university with mentorship in mind and PGA membership in mind. And that is very significant. And we couldn't be successful as a PGA program without you. So I want to recognize that effort. Thank you very much for that. Hotel check-in was great. I brought the family. We went to the barbecue yesterday. It was wonderful. I have a 1.5-year-old. I have a 3.5-year-old. I had my wife with me. It was great. Everything was super until about check-in yesterday, when I had the opportunity to meet up with your president, and he shared with my son, who's 3.5, that the hotel we're staying in could be haunted. That made hide and seek pretty interesting last night. Made sleeping pretty interesting last night. So for any of those that were around my room on the 7th floor, if you heard screams of my son saying, "Ghost!" that was me. I apologize. It's Tony's fault. Thank you very much. Ironically, I got an email from the university registrar, because Tony's an alum of UNLV. I got an email this morning, something about his degree, but Tony, I'm sure everything's going to be fine, so don't worry about it. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share some discussions about education. I had the opportunity to serve for the last 6 years on the National Education Committee, and I don't think the clicker's working here. Maybe I'm too far away. Maybe I can't walk around. There we go. I think you might have to do that. It doesn't seem like it's working. Can you do it? Just keep on doing it. Thank you so much. Had the opportunity over the last 6 years, and I know I served one term with Bill, I believe, correct? The last couple of years, 2 terms. Yeah. And we had this opportunity. We had really a chance to change education for the PGA of America, and to do so by creating areas of specialization. And that was something that we didn't take lightly. And it took a few years for us to convince the board of directors to collect information and say, hey, listen, if a student were to go to a university, they're going to take a major, right? Or they're going to get a certain degree, but they're probably going to take a major in something they really like. They're probably going to take a minor or a concentration in something that they're really passionate about. And we wanted that same model for PGA membership. Why not, right? So we took that approach over a few years, and as a result, we came up with, as Bill said before, this specialty program, certified programs, and master professional programs, where you can embark on a career path that you're passionate about, and you can grow upon that path and be the best PGA professional in that area. That's what the market wants. When I became a member back in 1998, we were a master of all trades. There are PGA professionals in this room that were doing it before I was born. And you were required to do everything and do it great. The market right now is dictating, I want an expert in teaching and coaching. I want an expert that can be my club manager. I want an expert in running golf operations. So the PGA of America has responded to that. And it's quite exciting. So there's been an evolution that has gone on, for a number of years. How many of us graduated from the business school model? Raise your hand, be proud, come on. I was the last class to do that. I went through business school, 1 and 2, okay? It was a hoot, we had a great time. I remember Ed Horde. Anybody remember Ed Horde in this room? Tony Startzel, anybody remember Mr. Startzel? Okay. They were people I looked up to and said, I want to be that PGA professional. They were aspiring individuals. They were influencers. We got through business school, became members. We were really excited about it. We then went to this GPTP model. How many of us graduated with the GPTP model? Okay, that was the next generation of education. How about PGM 1.0? Anybody? Okay, 2.0, going through right now. Okay, finish up, because the window's closing soon, all right? PGM 3.0. We have an opportunity now to hone our skills, to hone skills that we're most passionate about in golf operations, in teaching and coaching, or executive management. You go to the next slide. This is the framework that we shared just before, and we're going to move through this pretty quickly because we had a nice video that the PGA of America put together. But as an associate, these are individuals not going to a PGA university program, but as an associate, you can pick a path to grow upon after level 1 education. So don't worry, through level 1, we're still capturing the essence of being a PGA professional. We're still talking about player development. We're still talking about instruction. We're still talking about golf operations and some aspects of executive management at a very foundational level. But at level 2 and level 3, as said earlier, once you pick that path, there's going to be more information related to that specific career path. You can go on to the next one. One of the advances that will probably most significant is the library that's afforded now to the PGA golf profession. How many have been on PGA.org and gone to your educational portal? How many of you have done that? Okay. Every hand should be up. This is a section of leaders, right? Every hand should be up. Give yourself the next week to log on to PGA.org, go to the educational portal, and you will be so excited to see how many courses you can take right now that the PGA of America has invested in for your professional development. And you can do it sitting in your office, you can do it at home, and in some cases you can do it on your cell phone. These are educational programs that are intended to give you the edge up, to give you the respect that you deserve as a PGA golf professional, and give you credentials that you may be interested in. Millions of dollars of investment in this. Next slide, please. This gives you an idea of the PGM 3.0 course offerings for golf operations. We don't have one architect quite yet for executive management or teaching and coaching because they're in the development stages, and they'll be launched in August. But this is what an associate would take, and every PGA student at a university must take. They don't have the option to specialize. PGA associate does. So of course we go through the qualifying level with the history and some rules of golf and career enhancement, but you can see in golf operations, facility management and teaching and coaching are equally shared. When you choose teaching and coaching, it's going to be primarily focused on learning objectives associated with being the best teacher of the game, the best coach, the best director of instruction. And then when we get into executive management, you'll see the same principles apply in more total enterprise management. So yeah, you might still have the opportunity to oversee golf operations, but you're going to be overseeing the club. You're going to be the GM, the AGM, multiple facility management, whatever interests you there. And we'll talk about UNLV's contribution to that path in just a little bit. Next slide, please. The assessments are quite interesting. After each level, you'll take a battery of exams. You'll have an opportunity to retake it once. Let me repeat that. You go through battery exams after each level, you have an opportunity to retake it once. This is a change from the retake opportunities in 2.0 and 1.0, where they were a bit more liberal. If you don't pass the second time, well then obviously there's an opportunity for mentorship and you can take it again, but it will require further training. An example of a work experience portfolio in teaching. Here's teaching A, so it's the very first level of teaching, okay? One activity, activity 4. An associate or a PGA student would actually have to give a 60-minute lesson. That's fair, right? Not many of us probably give 60-minute lessons, but that's okay. We give a 60-minute lesson, it needs to be videoed. You need to respond to questions. And you need to explain the cause and effect relationships associated with ball flight laws, principles, and preferences. That's just the most basic of activities for teaching and coaching. And as we get to level 2 and level 3, we'll talk about how people learn, what's the best method of instructing, and when we get into specialized and certified areas, we may embrace other associations like TPI, what Golf Tech may be doing, TrackMan University, and we may say if you've done stuff like that, we'll count it towards PGA certification. golf operations, there'll be a capstone project. How many of us had a capstone project at a university, or a final project where we needed to put everything in, and we stayed up late the night before, and we stressed out with everybody, and we made good friendships because of it? Well, the similar type of thing is going to happen in the associate level, and the PGA student level, in level 3. In fact, they'll go through business simulations. Business simulations that were previously offered in certified programs are now going to be offered in level 3 of the associate or the PGA student offering. So we are raising the bar in education. We're raising the engagement level in education so we can satisfy some of the market needs. Next slide, please. The specialized program costs a little bit of money, $350. One of the aspects of the specialized, certified, and master professional programs that we felt was necessary to include was advising and mentorship of other PGA professionals. When I grew up and I knew I wanted to be a PGA member, I hung out with all the assistant golf professionals at the club. When I became a member, we played a lot of golf together. We played in tournaments once a week. We had wonderful team events. That's where a lot of the mentorship took place. We're not playing as much as PGA professionals for various reasons. And we felt as an education team that if we can include mentorship and advisement at all these levels, meaning that I want to be a specialty or a certified member, I am going to be required to advise and mentor others that want to do this with me. The more bridges we can build for mentorship, the stronger our associations can be. We're going to take greater pride in it. Next slide, please. The certified program, one of the significant changes between 2.0 and 3.0 in membership education was that, if you could recall, you could be a certified PGA member previously without any work experience in that career path. So you could have a new member interested in general management, and a year into the job be certified in general management, while you had a GM that was a GM for 20 years and was certified in general management. You can see where that credentialing process could be a little bit of an issue. So in this case, when we looked at the framework, we added experience at the certified level of 5 years and 10 years for the master professional program. Go to the next slide, please. The master professional program is really it, okay? It's the opportunity to signal to your members and your peer group that you have mastery in your level. You'll have to present a thesis. Don't be afraid of that word, okay? It's just a long paper, okay? It has some great outcomes and ways you can tie it together. But you'll have to present to a peer group, and a peer group that will be evaluating you. And that will probably cause most of the opportunity to have a little bit of anxiety. But if you are the expert in your group, this is an opportunity for you to shine. And I hope many of you in this room will take part in this. Next slide, please. You should be proud of your association. This association invests a tremendous amount of time and money into your professional development. But you have to do it. You have to find the passion and time and energy to move this forward. And I know it's difficult. But the opportunity for you to be specialized and recognized as a further expert in the industry is there for all of us. Next slide, please. There's only 385 PGA Master Professionals. There's 29,000 individuals that have membership or associate status. This is a great differentiator for you. Might take a year or two to do it, but it's certainly a worthy cause. Next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit about UNLV. I've had the honor to be there for 15 years, starting my 16th year as director there. I thought I'd be in Vegas for 5 years. Then I'll move on. But somehow, my family and I have grown roots in the desert. I don't know how we did it. But we enjoy the time in Las Vegas, and it's really an entrepreneurial spirit town. Who do you see there? Our coach, Dwayne Knight, in the center. I know Ron played for Dwayne, right? There you go. And we are so honored to be able to open the Dwayne Knight Center for Golf Management. We did so last year. We did so during a time when the golf industry was a bit stressed. In some cases, it still is. Enrollment in the PGA University programs, enrollment in the associate programs, membership retention, it's not at the highest it's ever been. But for some special reason, at UNLV, in our own little pocket, we've been holding our own. And when the golf industry was down a little bit, the stock was a little bit low, our president, our dean, our donors decided to double down on golf. Good old Vegas spirit. So we opened a $3.1 million Center for Golf Management in the heart of campus, in the flagship building at UNLV called Hospitality Hall. You can see here that we put in a golf shop. This is a learning laboratory for our PGA students. We offer a good selection of merchandise. Obviously, everything is all rebelled out with UNLV. And it's a great opportunity for our students to engage with those in the campus community interested in some golf swag, so to speak. With 35% of retail sales in the golf industry being online, we're also opening an e-commerce site over the summer where we'll be able to target to the 100,000 alumni at UNLV and offer them UNLV's golf store online. And students will be part of that experience. We partnered with a company called TSNAP. Anybody familiar with TSNAP at all? Okay, a little bit. Parent company is Allegiant Airlines. They're trying to help the industry out by studying consumer behavior, by looking at dynamic pricing models that have existed in the airline industry and the hotel industry for decades. It's a progressive and very interesting point-of-sale system in sales and marketing. We have a classroom and biomechanics lab. I know, Allison, you're going to be with us in September, right? We're excited to have you down teaching our students. We've invested into a classroom and biomechanics lab just for PGA students at UNLV. They don't know how good they have it. They don't share classrooms with anybody else. So that classroom obviously is all turf. We have holes all over the place. We can move the tables and chairs out. We can do some chipping and putting. Although the windows in the back are 20,000 a piece, we don't want to do too much pitching, okay? Just so you know. What you see here is a biomechanics lab that a couple of universities in the country have. We're fortunate to have one. Next slide, please. You can see that we've partnered with Callaway and Mizuno. We're excited to have them part of our team, and our students are certified in that fitting aspect that Callaway and Mizuno offer from their visits to campus. We partnered with GolfWorks, Maltby GolfWorks, put together a nice club repair and design lab. In this lab, students can do just about anything with their clubs they want. We got all the grips in there for them. They can change shafts, they can measure loft and lie, they can measure frequency. This is an important part of the business that we take pride in. Next slide. We have also invested into a simulation room. So while we have this biomechanics room and classroom, that is more reserved for research and teaching to a specific group of individuals, we decided to include an off-course simulation room. Off-course golf is growing leaps and bounds. So we wanted the students to understand that this is a sector of the business that you need to understand. You need to understand the technology of these simulation companies. You need to understand how to use this technology and teach effectively. You need to understand that people will come to this type of experience in an environment that maybe is has less rules. Let's just keep it that way. So with the hospitality management program that we have, we always pair these experiences with food and beverage. We have a TV in there that we put on sporting events, and they understand that it's the whole experience, and golf is a main part of that. Next slide. We invested into an outdoor putting green. You can't see the whole green, but that actually wraps around the corner of the building. And in doing so, we have green space at UNLV that doesn't have to be watered, but we have green space that students that walk past the building can just go on, grab a putter and a ball, and say, hey, wow, this is fun. I've never played golf before. And our students do these type of 5-10 minute clinics throughout the day and invite people just walking on campus to come out and experience golf, whether it be on a putting green or in the simulation room, but of course we have them walk through the golf shop. Southwest Greens was a great supporter of that. Next slide. The university program at UNLV is doing pretty well. We'll probably have about 100 students enrolled in the fall of 19. Our enrollment has gone up over the last, I would say, 10 years or so. Unfortunately, if you take a look at the broad spectrum of all the university programs, enrollment is about half since 2008. So that's a little bit of trouble. We have 100% job placement since the first graduating class. We have 70% of our alumni currently working in the industry. We did a compensation study of our alumni within the first 6 years, the career path that they've chosen. And needless to say, we're above the average for the PGA member within the first 6 years. One of the areas that we're struggling with, and we hope you can help us with, is student internships. We simply don't have enough students to fill the demand. For every student in our program, they have 5 offers. And some can say, oh, you're doing a great job at UNLV, but I would rather say we're not doing a great job. Because I have to say no to 4 people. And that's very tough. So I'm not sure how we can change this model. Some thoughts are, well, we need more students, right? But I'm not sure. I don't have the answer to this, and I need your help. I need your help in perhaps mentoring students to say, hey, the PGA of America is a great association to be part of. Go join the associate program if you want to work in the industry full-time while doing it. Go join a PGA program, whether it be at UNLV or somewhere else. Being a PGA member is a great thing. Unfortunately, we have students that come back sometimes on internship and say, I need to change my major. I'm like, well, why? Why are you changing your major? I just didn't have a good experience. Or my supervising professional told me I was crazy to be in the industry. It happens. We understand. We totally understand. Next slide, please. This is an example of some research that we're doing. And go Stanford for winning the national championship. We're very excited about that for them because this is the team we were hosting in our lab in March. We had Stanford University in, Conrad Ray, congratulations to their team. And we had an opportunity to do some data analysis on their swings. This is the type of information we like to collect. Our goal is to have a database of high school players, D1 athletes, and PGA Tour players, and try to analyze the gaps that exist between those audiences, and see if we can inform coaches or players about attributes that are similar to be on the PGA Tour or the LPGA Tour that they may not have yet. This is going to take years to collect data, but we're committed to it. We invested a tremendous amount of funds in the wet lab. If you can go to the biomechanics link, I'll show you just briefly about the information we're collecting. So you can see here, perfect. We're looking at the kinematic sequencing of the player. And we're looking for areas here that may produce some weaknesses. And then you can see here from the material that we have in the wet lab that we have, we could take a look at an individual swing from a 3D model. And you'll notice the yellow lines. The yellow lines are ground forces. And this individual is using an iron, so you can see a lot of the weight going to the target side, which produces a downward negative attack on the angle of the club. That would be a little bit different if they were using a wood or a driver, okay, because they want their attack angle not as much negative or in some cases positive. But we're able to look at this from a scientific standpoint. And we're catching about 500 data points per swing. So we're going to be involving colleges of engineering, colleges of kinesiology, and look for ways in which we can do some innovative research, cutting-edge research, on hoping to eliminate injuries down the road of players, and looking for ways to maximize their potential in the swing. You can go to the next slide. This is an example of a seminar we're doing with Callaway. This is what happens in the center. We're doing club fitting there in our classroom. Next slide. With Mizuno. Okay. We had the Nevada Women's Lodging Association of Las Vegas in. And they came to us and said, we're tired of our CEOs going to play golf and not inviting us. We want to learn how to play golf. I said, we can do it. So we had them in for a 4-week clinic. It's our second year in a row that we've done it. And it's been just a lot of fun. But most importantly, we're involving our students in these opportunities. Next slide. That's our women's golf team. Our men's golf team's in the club repair area. And we're doing research on Harry Hall right now, the #1 men's player. And you can see this individual here. He's their researcher at Penn State University. So we actually go back and forth between Penn State and UNLV, and we collect data and we do biomechanic research for individuals. Penn State has a head start. They've been doing it for 8 years. They're my alma mater. They're doing some great work in biomechanic research. Opportunities to invite high school players and coaches in. We sponsor a number of different high schools. We bring them in. We go over the rules of golf. We talk a little bit about the program. We do some swing analysis. Next slide. PGA Tour, we had Mark Wilson in for the Rules of Golf. He's been the chairman of the Rules of Golf Committee in some instances for a number of years, and he's been wonderful as a partner for us. And some lessons to advisory board members and big donors to the university. Next slide. I want to spend just a little bit of time. I know that I have maybe 5 more minutes or so, but I wanted to talk to you about UNLV's contributions to PGA lifelong learning. You notice that executive management was one of the tracks for specialization, certification, and master professional. We've been working on this project at UNLV for about 18 months, and we've developed a certificate program that those that are interested in becoming specialized certified in executive management, you can take an online certificate program from UNLV's Harrod College of Hospitality, ranked #1 in hospitality in the world for the last 2 years, at no additional cost to the member. So just like certificate programs that you could acquire at Harvard for business or Yale or whoever it may be, and not suggesting we're on that level, but in hospitality we're pretty darn good. So we developed an executive management certificate program that will be launched in August. If you can go to the next slide. Just keep going for a little bit. Sorry. This is human resources management, total enterprise management that we developed, introduction to leadership, food cost and beverage control, revenue management, how to read and create financial statements, the customer experience and orientations, what else do we have? And organizational communication. We're going to skip the course example for now due to time, but please know that UNLV's contribution to the lifelong member of you, if you're interested in executive management, is there. So this certificate program is something that you would put on your resume, your vita, and say, I've earned a certificate from UNLV's Harrod College of Hospitality, and have also been certified in executive management through the PGA of America. 2 stones. Next slide. I wanted to share a couple of slides about golfer demographics. I'm sure this is no surprise to you at all. We talk a lot about this in the classroom. But we're nearing a point of off-course participation, those who play off-course on a simulated round of golf somewhere, and those that play in a golf course, we're starting to see those numbers about the same. In fact, 9 million people have played off course exclusively only and have not played on a golf course yet. Those numbers are staggering, folks. How do we look at the consumer behavior that's driving an individual to go to Topgolf or Drive Shack or some simulated form of play, enjoying that, but not wanting to go to a golf course? What's causing that lapse? You tell me. Time and money? Okay, all right, these are all very good things. Did you know that golf, at no point in its history, has been more affordable or more accessible? The average green fee is $35. There are 75% of the golf courses that are open to the public. At no time, controlling for inflation, has golf been more affordable and accessible. So yeah, it could be time. The money thing maybe, because they need equipment, right? Sure. Technology. It's fun to be around technology. No question about it. How do we move some of that technology to the golf course? How do we relax some of the rules and make golf more inclusive for this group? These are all questions that many of us don't have answers for yet, but we're studying this. Look at the beginner demographics. 35% women, overall 23% when you're including those that are actually playing the game after the beginner level. Next slide. On-course golfer demographics. Off-course golfer demographics. Let's take a look at some of the disparity. 36%, 11% of the juniors are playing golf on a course. 24% are off course. A little bit of a gap there. 26% of young adults are playing golf. 44% of young adults are off course. Look at the disparity with women. 23% are playing on course. Nearly half are enjoying the off course experience. What demographic do we hold tight to? Over 65. 17% of all golfers over the age of 65 are on course. 4% are off course. Let's think about this a little bit. I'm sure many of you have known friends or are part of experiences where your golf course didn't survive and it went under and you needed to get another job. It's happened in Las Vegas, okay? We've lost inventory of some golf courses. But at the same time, we had 2 new golf experiences open in the last 2 years. We had Discovery open up Summit, which caters to the very exclusive part of the core golfer area. Some of them may even not play golf. They just want to be associated with the club environment and the hospitality. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we have Topgolf that put in their flagship property in Las Vegas. That adheres to the recreational golf. So you can see the market reacting to this data, and you can see this data driving the market. As PGA golf professionals, we should be focusing on how do we transfer this wonderful latent demand that we have. We have 107 million people in our country alone that are interested in the game, whether they play, read, or watch it on TV. We have 9 million people that have never played on a course, but enjoy the on-course experience. We have a tremendous amount of latent demand that as a PGA professional, we need to go get. When I entered the industry and worked in green grass and was around it for about 10 years, all we did was manage the demand. I can remember like it was yesterday. I need more Pro V1s. They're out of stock. I'm sorry, we only allotted you 36 dozen. That's crazy. I need more Pro V1s. I remember the times. The individuals that we're putting in the market now need to manage the demand, but the greatest differentiator is they also need to know how to create them. And that is a shift in education. I want to thank you very much for this time. If I have an opportunity, I hope to answer some questions, maybe 1 or 2. I'd be happy to do so, but I really appreciate being here. Thank you. for Dr. Kane while he's here. We got a couple of minutes to do so. No? Oh, we do have one, I'm sorry. Mr. Tooney.
What was the question?
The question was, how has the PGA of America made inroads in helping place PGA professionals in top golf facilities? So I know there's been discussion with the PGA of America and Top Golf at the highest level. And I just played golf with
John Easterbrook, who's the chief operating officer for membership. And we discussed that. We discussed about that opportunity. And I think there's going to be opportunity moving down the road. I can speak more specifically from a regional area in that the national recruiter for Topgolf often spends a lot of time in Las Vegas. And we often spend a lot of time together. And he is recruiting associates and PGA students and PGA members to be part of the Topgolf experience. They understand the value of the PGA member. There's no question about that. But in areas like Las Vegas and others where Topgolf is situated, their revenue stream is a lot with events. And it's a lot with food and beverage. And it's a lot with other experiences associated with the game, but not primarily with the game. And their thought is they need to grow more business from their local industry. Not people that would just come to Las Vegas and leave, but people that could look at Topgolf as an area where they can learn their game, be a golfer under the tutelage of a PGA member. And they have PGA members of instruction, lead instructors that are all PGA certified. So they're keenly aware of it. And I think they're going to be reaching out to the PGA of America more, especially now that we have markets for specialization in teaching and coaching. So I think the future looks very bright. Great question. Yes? Yeah, I would say they're keenly aware of the value of PGA professional. Yes. Yeah, I think one of the models that we were piloting for Topgolf Las Vegas was to use our students to develop junior leagues at Topgolf. And they actually have an area there on the ground floor where it's very inviting to junior golfers. And they were actually reaching out to do field trips. So that would be under the tutelage of PGA professionals, PGA students. But the more community we can drive at a golf course experience, the more opportunity to say, hey, you know what? We have a league here to play, whether it be the next step is PGA Junior League at a local golf course, or the next step is a women's league or a men's league at a golf course that's partnered together. I think there's great opportunity. The data suggests there's a tremendous amount of latent demand. If you're a PGA golf professional and you have an off-course experience next to you or near your golf facility, knock on the door. As I stated before, not only do we need to manage demand, we need to create it. And they have a great opportunity to partner with you. What they don't have, you have, and what you don't have, they have. I've been, yes, at least the areas in Las Vegas. I can't speak more broadly. I can't. Yes.
Yeah, in answer to part answer to that question, the Southern California PGA, and again, in working with the Southern California Golf Association, has been working, I would say, very hard once again in regards to our relationship with not only Topgolf but the others out there. And one of the components that we're encouraging, and I think Josh Alford's place at the Lakes of El Segundo is a good example of that, where Topgolf is going to go in, is that we're encouraging, and successfully so far, that there is a practice component, not just the game component with Topgolf, that will transition a lot easier players to the golf facilities and nearby golf courses. It might be as simple as having real grass putting greens, pitching areas out there, short courses, or a 3-hole practice course, for example, that will serve as a bridge to regular golf facilities. And those conversations seem to be very positive at this point, and something that we can look forward to in working with these groups.
Hey, Jeremy.
Knocking all this stuff has been
Chris,
awesome.
thanks.
This table back there is a little baffling. How do you play over 500 holes in 14 hours? 47 holes an hour. 12 hours, even worse. We can't figure out the math.
Yeah, it was 63 now, 9-hole rounds. We played the front 9 at Las Vegas Golf Club 63 times in 12 hours. I had 9-hole rounds under 10 minutes. Yeah, I broke par number of 18 holes, which suggests that you shouldn't spend a lot of time over the ball. It really doesn't do you good. But no, it was in 2002, we set a record at Penn State for 505 holes. And then when it came to Las Vegas, our students just gave me a lot of slack for not playing enough golf. You know, I was too busy, right? So I said, I'm going to get all my rounds of golf in one day, actually in 12 hours, and you're going to help me do it. We raised a ton of money for cancer research. It was a great day. And yeah, trained just a number of months for it, and just did it. Yeah, thanks. One ball. In fact, I lost one ball, and the rules stated you need to wait 5 minutes. And I knew that was 3 holes. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for recognizing that. It's my greatest accomplishment.
You didn't think they were paying attention back there, did you?
All right, real quick, we're going to bring up a gentleman most of you know, or if you don't, you'll get to know him today, Jim Ireland. He's with that new partner of ours, Tag Marshall. He just wanted to introduce himself and introduce Tag Marshall to everyone in the room.
Thanks, Dave. So there's good news and bad news in this. So hopefully I'm one of the last speakers. And for everybody that knows me in this room, they also gave the mic to the guy who likes to talk a lot. So my apologies. The good news is there's a video, so you don't have to listen to me very much. So in addition, most of you guys know that I've been with Under Armour for a fair amount of time, been in the apparel business 25 plus years now. And Tag Marshall presented an opportunity to me to really bring at least an introduction to a service as opposed to a product. And by that, what Tag Marshall is they're a golf course utilization and analytics program that really very simply comes down to allowing you an opportunity to be able to more efficiently understand data, collect data, and then consequently run your business. Currently, Tag Marshall is in over 200 golf courses in this country, another 100 globally, as well as a fair amount of well-known places from Valhalla to Bandon Dunes to Whistling Straits and Pebble Beach. So it really crosses the spectrum of both private, public, daily fee, resort, virtually any type of facility. and truly is a data capturing tool. So with that, and thankfully for everybody that knows me, now we're going to the video.
We're excited to welcome Tag Marshall as a partner to our PGA section. If your club is looking to improve the player experience and maximize revenue, you should find out more. Tag Marshall is the leading golf course optimization system and the go-to solution for pace and flow of play management. We know many of our operators and managers are committed to transforming and scaling up their operation rather than maintaining the status quo. Tag Marshall is industry trusted, has a great team, and the system's results speak for itself.
Here's what golfers really want. 82% of players say course conditioning is key to their experience. No surprises here. Courses spend millions of dollars and thousands of hours on greenkeeping, maintenance, and conditioning. 74% of players say the pace, flow, and time of play is crucial to their enjoyment. An 18-hole round of golf is often a 7-hour commitment. This is the golfer expectation. But what is the reality? Delays, holdups, ineffective marshalling, waiting. The expected time budget is up. This means no time for the pro shop, no burger and drinks. Or I extend my time anyway. That's gonna cost you. Sound familiar? What about member happiness and loyalty? You'll know all about it, and managing members is not easy. You don't want players to vote with their feet, go elsewhere, or play less golf. Our course partners are not fixing pace of play problems. To them, it's about plain and simple service delivery and looking after members and guests in the best way possible. Plus, best of all, it pays off in additional revenue. The traditional way of measuring performance is to compare goal time versus average round time. Here's a real example. A 4-hour goal time, 3,300 rounds in a busy Arizona March, comes in at 4 hours and 6 minutes average round time. Looks good, right? Here's the problem. The average round time is like the average temperature. The cold morning cancels out the hot afternoon for a seemingly comfortable average. A look at the actual data of this 4 hours and 6 minutes average round time looks like this. The twosomes and quick morning rounds cancel out the slow rounds, the 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes over and more. Does that mean 50% of players are slow? No. It means risk groups fall out of position and delaying others behind them, which leads to unhappy players and poor experiences. This is why we created Tag Marshall. Our intuitive solution helps you control and balance play on your course. From this to this. The results speak for themselves. This is how it works. Playing groups get equipped with a Tag Marshall Classic Tag or a Tag Marshall two-way unit. They get clipped onto golf bags, trolleys, or installed into carts. The units send positional data to Tag Marshall's class-leading track or course optimizer platform in the cloud. Here, our proprietary algorithms make sense of all the data and serve it to course management and staff on tablets, smartphones, or office computers in an easy-to-use way. The system has optional modules that can be added, or you can select the end-to-end Tag Marshall Premium Golf Course Optimizer System option and have it all.
Our goal is to improve the experience for our guests while maximizing our revenue potential, and Tag Marshall has helped us to do both. The numerous reports that Tag Marshall provides are invaluable when addressing a golf committee or finance committee. I highly recommend it to any club.
You can see why Tag Marshall is trusted by managers, teams, committees, and loved by players. Optimize your course with Tag Marshall Golf Course Intelligence. Setting the pace, setting new standards.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I don't have a lot more to add. I know you guys have had a long morning. You're probably ready to get out of here and go play golf. Yes, everybody. But I'll be in touch. I'll send emails if you. I think most of you have to get in touch with me, but if I can answer questions, let me know. Unless somebody's got a specific question now. Tony?
All right. I know, as Jim mentioned, it has been a long morning, but now we've got
more speaker coming up. We've got Mike Karen and Jason Taylor with Donate Valet in Sea Mexico. So make sure you have your raffle tickets because someone's going to win a free trip to Mexico. So this is one you want to pay attention to as well. Jason, Mike, both of you come up. Mike.
Well, hi everybody. Appreciate you guys having me here today, and I will make this very quick. But I've been in the industry for a little while. Go to the next slide, please. In 2002, I founded Click for Tea Times, which some of you guys may recall. And then Convert Marketing in 2010, and that's kind of a dynamic pricing booking engine for your tea sheet. And then Donation Valet in 2015, and then lucky to have a partner with Jason over there with Sea Mexico Golf just recently in 2017. So that's the quick background. And so the Donation Valet product is what I want to talk a little bit about today. And how many of you people deal with the donation requests at your golf course or tournaments generally? Hands, fair amount. So what this does is automates that process for you. Because right now, likely you're getting those through the mail, you're getting those through people walking in, phone calls, people looking for donations for their charity. So what this product does simply is it has one area on your website that you refer everybody to go to, and they go to that, the charity goes to that website, they fill out a form. We can kind of push through these slides pretty quick too. Let's even keep going, just quick. One less, sorry, thanks. There it is, one less. Backwards, I'm sorry. One more. One more? One more? Okay, so they go to your facility and fill out a donation request. It's the charity. And as soon as they do that, whoever you deem responsible will get notified via text or via email that they have a donation request. And that goes to the next slide. So at that point, you can look on your phone, you can see if you want to approve or deny that donation request. If you decide to approve it, you select which voucher you want. They're all customizable vouchers. And let's see, you do a two-sum of golf, and you hit the send button, the voucher automatically gets sent out to the charity, and it's a done deal. There's no mailing, there's no stamps, there's no time. It's very quick, it's very easy. If you decide that you do not want to give that charity a voucher, you just say deny, and then a custom email gets sent out to that charity anyway. You could do a bounce back program or something like that if you wanted to, but basically it's just keeping in touch with that charity, letting them know that you are responding to their request. And at the end of the day, the key to this is that you're building up a database of potential leads. And that's really, I think, where this product, not only does it save you time, a lot of time in dealing with donation requests, but it also builds a very strong database of leads for you to remarket to for your facility for these events that come next year to your course, your facility. So this is an example of Hagen Oaks, Mike Woods. Can't read it from here, but you can read it. That's the results from last year for what they've had using our product. Testimonial, again, time-wise, we won't read it, but he's super happy. If anybody knows Mike Woods, give him a shout. We've got about 150 of these installed around North America, and it's been great. So the cost is $500 a year, so it's very affordable, and we waive the setup fee for you guys for being so cool and having me speak today. And that is really about it, I guess. Any questions about the product and the 90-second speech? Anybody? All right. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. No, we're good. Yeah. Go Mexico.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for letting us sponsor.
I know it was a little mixed up there. I'm not actually part of that donation valet, although I probably should try to buy in. I think it's a pretty amazing program. Mike and I are partners in See Mexico Golf. What it is a golf travel company. We organize golf groups that go down to, obviously, Mexico. I'm going to start off by telling you, that's an old one. Nice job. But we're going to make it work. We're going to go off script here, apparently. Let me try to see what's up there. I think that's an old PowerPoint that mixed in there. So anyways, I'm going to start off telling you what I like about Mexico. First, the food. Obviously, I don't miss any of that when I go down there. I try to go down at least once a month if I can on vacation. Love the warm water and the beaches. I love the weather. The people are fantastic. Don't laugh at me, Allison. The people are fantastic. But what I love the most, I'm thinking about it last night a lot, is the hospitality. It's always yes in Mexico. If I'm with a group and we say, hey, we want shrimp tacos on the 5th hole, but there's no food service around the 5th hole, you just tell people, it's always yes, and it's never forced. It's never, you never feel like that here. And you can get that experience here, but you just have to spend 200 grand to join a discovery property and spend another 40, 50 grand in dues. And it always feels a little more structured. And I guess that's kind of the big difference when I describe Mexico. I just feel a total freedom down there. I own a business in Riverside. My phone's blowing up this morning, so my staff knows I'm out of town. And they're calling me with little things. When I go to Mexico, I'll get called with big things. I'm still connected. I got my computer, I got my phone that works everywhere. But I really do get away. And I go for 2 or 3 days all the time. Sometimes I'll try to pull off a week. But that's kind of it. And the elephant in the room is, everybody asks about the security. My answer to the security is, first, if you're really worried and sure there's a problem, you just don't go. You're not going to have fun. Go to Pebble Beach instead. Go to Hawaii. Go to Pinehurst, something like that. But the security, from just my personal perspective, is not an issue. Again, I take my wife and kids down there. We travel all over the country. We go to the beautiful resorts that are, the Cabos, where Ritz-Carltons are being built, or the Thompson hotels, and we go off the grid in the middle of jungles and canyons, and it's just not an issue. The way our program works, I guess we don't have any of the. Well, I'll call it, it's an all-inclusive in that when you want to book a vacation, what you do is you let us know, you tell us, hey, I want to go to whatever, I want to have a spring break 1998 experience with people hanging upside down doing shots, or I want to have something super upscale, whatever it is, I'll put something together like that for you, give you 2 or 3 hotels and a destination as a suggestion. And then we take care of your airfare, we take care of your golf bags on the plane, we take care of your luggage, we take care of your ground transportation. We take care of the golf, everything. There's no surprises. We just put together a trip for Victoria Club, and I thought I had that slide up there for it, where the whole thing, is it coming up? No, it's just not in there, is it? Got a little mix up. The whole thing cost for single occupancy, all inclusive, all that stuff I said was $1,299, I think it was. If you want to go double occupancy, it was like $899, and that's everything for 4 nights, 5 days. Unlimited golf, all-inclusive food and drinks. That's all you need to spend unless you want to buy a few more t-shirts. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And I'll leave you with one more thing that's great about Mexico is I promise if you go on one of our trips, there will be no 2-hour meetings with PowerPoints. You'll get there, you'll play golf, and you'll have some fun, and that's about the end of it. So there is a little bit more. You like that part. We are giving away a trip to El Cid in Mazatlan. So we gave out tickets this morning. I'm not going to be able to read those numbers. You're up.
We'll pick one.
I can do that.
All right. So the winner is 701514.
You were close? Who got it?
Do we have a winner?
What was it?
701514.
Come on.
Got it? Come on down.
Mike, you got it? No? Yep. I can't read it. That looks good to me. You're in. Come on up. Look, take a picture with me here.
Sweet.
Hashtag no meetings. We're going to Mexico.
I may not survive.
You'll survive. We're also going to be sponsoring not a hole-in-one contest, the closest to the hole contest on one of the par 3s out there, giving away another trip to El Cid in beautiful Mazatlan. So remember, See Mexico Golf. That's the name of our website, and we'll see you on the golf course. Thanks, everybody.
at this time, I'd like to make our first call for open forum. So I don't know if anybody has anything for open forum. Second call. Last call for anything open forum. Anybody want to make any announcements, any upcoming events? Joe, you usually have an event. No clinics coming up? Ken?
Nikki, Junko, and I will be at Santa Barbara Golf Course tomorrow morning, 9 to 11. And then we'll be at Thousand Oaks, New Branch, 3 to 5. We'll be doing a seminar. We'll be talking about junior league, player development, those kind of things like that. If you have an issue with getting a contractor status, some employees are changing situations, reach out to me. I have some examples for you on some of the ways that we're transitioning you over from the independent contractor to an employee. There are a lot of jobs posted on LinkedIn talking about improving professional positions. So reach those things, reach out to them, get them to you. There are people that are looking for assistant professionals. I know Michael Block is looking for one. There's a couple of people in Los Angeles. So we should help each other try to find some quality people. So please let me know how it is.
Thank you, Ken. And last call for anything open forum. Joe?
We got our 20th annual golf clinic for the junior blinds coming up late July. Keep an eye out for that. I need 1-to-1 on instructors, obviously. Can you hear me? 20th annual golf clinic for the junior blinds coming up. Keep an eye out for it. I need instructors for that one. We got to go 1-to-1. We need about 35 instructors on that one. Where is the date?
When and where?
Navy Golf Course. When? I don't have a date yet. It's going to be late July. Just keep an eye out for it. We're kind of a little light on the special ed kid clinic the other day, the annual one there. So I'd love to see a lot of guys at the junior blind one coming up. It's 20 years, so it's a big number. Right? So if you can make it, keep an eye out for it. Love to have you guys there.
Thank you, Joe. Any old business? Second call for old business. And the last call for old business. Any new business? I know all the pomp and circumstance. Second call for new business. No? And last call for new business. All right, at this time, I'd like to call Tom Addis to the stage for one more announcement, and we'll get into the tournament program for this afternoon. Oh, stairs. Sorry, I forgot.
Hello again. I'm going to do a couple commercials here. First, I would like to commend Jim Ireland, and Jim has a partner, Jim Akers, in another venture that they're doing, consulting for employees and staff, and we of the Southern California section, our staff, has been through one of the workshops with Jim Akers, and in regards to bonding and better communications and all those kinds of things. And I would encourage you at your businesses, if you're looking at doing something in employee workshops, that you contact Jim and move in that direction. We're going to do it again to keep the synergy going, and we really appreciate that. So I wanted to bring that up since you were here, Jim. The other thing, if you haven't picked up your AfterShokz headsets, please do so from Carrie and Ron back in the back. And there's still quite a stack back there, so make sure that you take care of that business. Along with our great staff, and it takes a lot to manage meetings, and Ariana and what Ariana does for these meetings, and Bryce and Demi, and then Max and Steven for what goes out on the golf course. So when the golf course is ready to play with the host staff, it takes a lot of work, and just want to appreciate the entire staff, and particular for the golf course, Max and Steven, for what they do in preparing the day for you. So the other thing, before I introduce Max, and I'm proud of my mentoring sometimes, and I have to say that Max is a great student because we both like cheeseburgers. And then when I asked Max where he was getting ready to introduce him, he said he was over by the buffet. So there's two great things in mentoring, so cheeseburgers and the buffet. But at this time, I'll introduce Max Despain, your tournament director.
Thanks, Tom. I knew if I referenced the buffet, you knew where to find me if I said buffet. So, a couple things out there for you on the golf course today. I want to first give a big thank you to Eric Kuhn, Jen Park, and Paul Guerrera for hosting. It's been a pleasure working with them, getting ready for this tournament. You're in for a treat out there. Taking a ride around the golf course this morning. It's looking great. The greens are rolling great. I mean, you're in for a treat out there today. So, big thank you to Bakersfield Country Club for hosting this event. When you depart down here, down below, you'll see the table of box lunches. Be sure to grab your box lunch. We have a few different options, so grab your box lunch when you leave. Also down below, you'll see we have the SCPGA tent. Underneath the tent, we're doing team skins, $40 team skins. So make sure you visit the tent to get into skins. On your golf cart, you'll have your scorecard, notice to players, hole locations, and sponsor half sheet. Out there on the golf course, everything's pretty much straightforward on your notice to players. Today's format is scramble, two-person scramble. You'll be able to move it one club length in the general area, and then one putter length on the green. For the tees, men will play from the blue tees. Women and men over 70 will play from the silver tees. Big thank you to Jason Taylor and on-course contest number 13 today. See Mexico will be giving out a gift there. Thanks to our sponsors and supporting today's event, we have a $12,000 purse. And a big thank you to Ron O'Connor. Ron O'Connor will be on the golf course today as your rules official. The driving range is staged for you, ready for you, and your lunch is down below. We have some beverages as well iced down for you when you get down there. And then we'll also have scoring downstairs in the room just next to where you'll be picking up your box lunches today. We'll start at approximately 1 o'clock. That gives you a little bit over an hour to grab a bite to eat, hit some range balls, and your carts are off stage. So we'll see you on the golf course.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, everybody, for attending the 2019 summer meeting. Special thanks to our partners. Special thanks to Dr. Kane for joining us from UNLV. And good luck out there in the competition today. At this time, I'd like to adjourn the meeting, and thank you very much for joining us.